59.
Peg, would you? Oh, wait a minute.
Are we on yet?
No, no, yeah. Is it on yet? Oh, let's, Peg, would you read us in the pledge, please?
Certainly.
Stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did I make it 6 o'clock?
Okay. I'm doing double duty tonight.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob. I didn't see you there. Good evening. Yep.
Evening.
Do I have any comments from the public?
I need the agenda. Wait a minute. Hold on. We did start at 6?
Paul said we did, I believe
We
it.
did. 6 o'clock. On the dot.
I guess not. Moving on.
Hello.
Okay, the minutes for, well, the minutes for the, on the top is the 6/28, public.
I move that we, public, that we approve the minutes, public minutes of Wednesday, June 28th.
I'll second. Do we have any corrections? Want to get Peg, Stephanie? Nope. Second, keep going. All those in favor?
Aye.
No, abstained?
One abstain.
Oh, yeah, okay. 3-0-1.
So Peg got,
Okay, the non-public for Wednesday, June 28th, 27.
I make a motion that we approve the non-public for Wednesday, June 28th.
I'll second. Do we have any corrections? I don't have any. I looked them over.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? Abstained? Yeah. 3-0-1. Okay, June 14th, Wednesday, public.
I make a motion to approve Wednesday, June 14th, public.
I second.
Oh, just mess me up, okay?
Said I was gonna do it. Do we have any corrections? No corrections? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Okay, June 14th, 2017, non-public.
I make a motion to approve the non-public of June 14th, Wednesday.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Stephanie, all right, okay. Any changes? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 3,
Abstain again, Doug.
or none. And you were excused, too.
I know I was.
Okay. All right, I think, Nate, I think you have some new financial reports for us?
We're gonna do the superintendent's.
report first?
Well, did I leave up Earl?
It's all right.
Nope.
He's
Okay,
number
go ahead,
2.
Earl, I'm
You
sorry.
can go
Number
first.
4.
No, go ahead,
He's
Earl.
He has
some
baby
good
duties, so we
news.
might want to let him go first.
You gotta stay late. Go ahead, Earl.
Okay, a lot of extraordinary great things have happened over the last couple of weeks. Thanks to a lot of folks' efforts, we've moved into the new SAU, and extraordinary amount of work was done, and for all concerned, it didn't cost us anything. So it's not very ordinary for schools to move an entire office without any type of cost. So I would like to thank the Stratford Group, Mr. L-O-Z-E, Lozay. Mr. Lozay did an extraordinary job. Dennis brought us a crew for Thursday and Friday. They came both days. And Friday's a hard day because it was July 4th. And we stayed there, and the whole SAU staff. And then, you know,
it was July 4th weekend.
yeah, it was amazing that we had a crew there. It was a female crew the last day, I'll have you know. It was a predominantly female crew, and they really did an extraordinary job. But Doug, our chair, stayed there that last day, and he's phenomenal at taking things apart and using his
And not putting them back together.
At home.
No, we were there on Friday till like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and John from the staff, the custodial staff, he was there with Doug and I. We were there right to the very end because we couldn't find a way to lock it. So, but no, we stayed and worked, and John did just a fantastic job, and it's almost phenomenal. You know, obviously there's still a lot of maneuvering and files and desks and different things to move around, but to move the entire SAU, and it worked out well because Nate was able to get all of the reports done, and we were able to move over there. Back Bay was very good too. I know sometimes we pick on them for things that they don't do, but they got us straightened out. Also too, I don't want to take away from the principals. They've been doing a fantastic job getting everything organized. We've had many transitions. I won't take away from Jan's oh, I'd like to welcome Jan. Please stand up. And,
The camera's up there.
Turn around,
camera's
do your
up
wave.
Welcome
Yay!
aboard.
You know, poor Jan, I know her cell phone by heart, so you really have to give her some applause.
I did.
She is, she'll speak about what she's done, but that's a restructuring in terms of how the offices have changed and how there's just a dynamic type of changes that were done. I'd also like to commend our guidance counselor, who's moving from the middle school to the high school, who was very instrumental in Howie Droulet as well. During the transition, I know I spoke about the fact in the 7th and the 8th grade that we were going to 5 to 4. So when we, so actually the social studies position has now been moved to an ELO position. The class sizes have remained intact, and Lisa was very funny. Burroughs said I was waiting for somebody to ask that. So I think it was actually, just like John was very gracious in making the changes when we riffed to K-5, we're still, throughout the whole district, and you can see on the various reports, our class sizes will still remain low. But Howie is going to be taking the extended learning opportunity position that Fern had. Jan and I had interviewed some folks for that position, so we'll have a seamless change, and she'll speak about where his room is going to be and so forth. But Lisa and he, I'm very grateful for helping us make that change. And with that change, it's a cost-effective change. I said our theme has been to stretch a buck out there, so that so now with that gain in next year's budget, we now are allowed to do the restructuring things we need to do to help students achieve, to increase how students achieve, and also to be sure students are safe, because there were some aspects that we wanted to look at in terms of hallways, you know, students being watched in the hallways. We had some parents come concerned about kids being picked on and so forth. And I think that some of the changes that Jan is going to speak about, thanks to the support of the board in the past board, when we discussed this, I think that this is going to thoroughly enhance us. So I think that although this is usually a downtime, it's far from a downtime for us. So I would like to thank the board for their support as we've made the changes, and I think we have a great staff ahead. We have a great
Peg
grant.
can't write anymore.
Okay. Okay,
I'm gonna save my
quiet.
hand for a
I
while.
was quiet the last meeting, so I gotta make up.
So,
I'm joking.
Yeah.
so you all set, Earl?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Earl.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, moving on. Now it's your turn, Nate. Sorry.
Okay. I do have some updated revenue and expense reports.
So disregard the ones you have in your packets, please.
Basically, I've been, that's probably extras. There's probably a bunch of extras.
Oh, wait a minute, those are all the revenue.
Those are
Take
just
one.
one page.
Oh, I see what I did. I'm sorry.
Earl? Craig?
So this isn't the final one, but it's basically the second to last.
But we're looking a lot better now.
We are. We took a lot of encumbrances off. Sue and I, Sue especially, worked her tail off to get invoices in, the final invoices. And then a lot of payroll was unencumbered.
These are for Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie and
She hasn't signed it.
Peg. Okay, good. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Do we have a revenue sheet,
All right.
extra revenue sheet?
yes, there was, I sent you one.
I think you got extra there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one page.
Okay.
Okay, so these are updated.
So, end
Yeah.
of year, money that's left over looks a lot better.
Yes.
Everybody on page 21?
Yeah.
Say, anybody have any question about the expense report?
I have to be very honest, I've not had a chance to look through the new one.
No, I know, I haven't either, so you wanna wait?
It's hot off the presses.
Start at the
I know, I saw you doing it
Negative,
this afternoon.
negative 700 to positive 168.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
it's an awesome thing. It's not, I mean, it is gonna go down a little bit more, but at least it's not negatives anymore.
That's
all right,
good.
21, so total encumbrances left,
You want page?
Nate, I'm on page 21, are just $487?
Yes, and those
Wow.
were a couple of those special ed equipment that we need to order.
Wow, so everything else is gone?
Yep.
No, you got a, amount remaining is 100, but that's just the
No,
rest.
but the encumbrances, we don't have any more
Yeah, you're
to
right.
pay, so,
That's good.
okay. And then revenue.
Good job thinking positively.
Yes.
I do have a question on the revenue report,
Okay.
though. Going on page 2 of 2. So
Yep.
is that revenue we have not received yet? That 353?
Yes.
So we still may get
But
that?
that's as you can see, the 348, 309,
Yeah, at the top, yeah.
most of that is from federal grants, and those aren't closed yet.
So we still may get that
So
money.
we're still getting that money.
So that'll come in
we're
as
still-
that'll go toward the revenue end?
It'll go towards the federal grant revenues. It's not gonna affect the operating budget itself.
Oh, okay, all right.
I can tell you that since I printed this, we put in about another 18,000 in revenue
Okay, all right.
Since this
from
afternoon.
Medicaid. Yeah.
Oh, grants though, okay.
No, Medicaid.
Oh, okay,
That would go back into revenue then?
Yeah.
So we got, okay.
all right, good.
You're still working on that projection for that then? The revenue that we'll have back at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Does anybody have any questions on that?
But as you can see, it's a lot better now.
Yeah, well, I can-
Thank
yeah.
you, yes.
I can sleep at night knowing that.
Yeah, me too.
There's more to sign. There's more to sign.
Okay,
This one's all done.
what I want to do is, I had something to pass out to you that dealt with money.
Whoa, oh, sorry,
There
Peg.
goes somebody's name.
Me,
I don't think the board members realize that
I had to make mine.
during the
Thank
year,
you.
once a year, we get a check from the town
Oh,
that sets the property tax. That's just FYI, that's a whole packet. And that's just FYI for you. Our last payment this year, end of the year, at $655,227, and that was our last payment from the town.
okay, and that shows in the revenue report?
Well, you
Yeah.
you should have that.
It's the very first line.
Now, what they do for 2017 and 2018, they forecast all of them in one column, and then you get toward the end, and then they give you the actual, they give more of a drawdown, and you get more of an accurate figure, but you'll be able to see that in your report when you look at them, just FYI.
Okay, good, thank you.
Okay, I gotta find myself here, because this is no good. That's no good.
Minutes.
Page 43,
43.
yeah,
Treasurer.
treasury report. I noticed that a treasurer didn't sign March 1, so what does that do for me? Can we accept it, or does he need to sign it first?
Oh.
Oh, the very first one here?
Yes, not signed. April's been signed.
Oh,
So is it, do we need to wait? You're the financial guy.
no, you can accept it.
Okay,
He'll sign it tomorrow.
okay, catch him. All right. Do I have a motion to accept March's treasury report?
I'll make a motion to accept March's treasurer report. You can second it, Paul.
All that stuff.
Okay.
I'll second.
Do I have any questions?
Paul's still trying to get back on.
He's got a
on
sea
the
legs.
horse.
He's got a
Yeah.
sea legs. Do I have any questions on March 2017? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right,
So
now,
it's 4-0, okay.
yeah, it is, yeah. Now,
March.
Paul can put his vote in. All right, going to April 27, 2017, sorry.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve
I'll
April.
second.
Stephanie, all right, thank you. Any questions?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Cash reconciliation, all set? Well, I got two of them.
Come on, Nate.
I got two.
I got March, the first one's March, and the second one's April. Cash reconciliation. Then you got page 54 is your food service operating cost. Now, will this be the last one, or will it be
No, there's gonna be one more.
one more after this?
Yep.
Just put down one more. And that one will tell us what our revenue and everything. Okay.
Yep.
All
Yes,
right.
it will.
Do you have any questions on, all right. Cash account, anything?
I'm glad we have this now.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I guess you're still up, Nate, because you got the cafe service contract in front of us.
Yep.
You signed this one yet?
The,
No, we gotta vote on it
yeah,
and review it and vote on
nice to
it.
see it. It's been approved by the state.
Okay.
So all I really need is an approval from you guys, and then we can sign it and send it in.
Okay, now my question to you, I did read it. So our payment next year is gonna be $276,261
For the year, yes.
for the year.
It's
Now, is that up or down from,
it's $508 more than we budgeted.
on our budget for this coming year?
Yeah.
Well, how does it compare to last year's, the one June?
It's more.
How much more than anybody, I didn't bother to check that. He's checking for it. Thought it was 280.
Yeah, this year budgeted was 3610.
It is more, yeah.
It's a
Like
lot
much?
more.
Actually, no, it's less. We had 285,867 last year,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
so it's less.
Okay, yeah, all
But
right.
what? All right.
We-
Last year, which just ended,
Yeah.
the fiscal year, it was $285,867 for the contract.
That's what I thought it was.
Where is that? I'm not showing.
No, it would be on that.
That's going to be on the expense report.
Not on that,
You won't see it on the
So
contract.
9,000 less.
Yeah.
on the other one. Your monthly,
So it's about 9,000 less than last year, but it's about $500 more than we
toward the end of the report.
anticipated.
I know, it's hard to do the minutes and do what
I
we're
know.
doing, I understand
Food
that.
service, okay, what did we budget?
No, I think,
So what's this last one right here? The net cost,
292?
the cost to the district?
Comparing it to,
Yeah,
All right,
that's the
I'm
number
just
that they
looking-
anticipate we'll have to
For
take
sure.
out of
So
What
like right now,
page
this
are
one
you-
says 36,000 something, right? So we're budgeting $40,000 in waste or whatever, right?
Yeah, I remember it was actually about 39 and change that we had
Oh, that's right.
budgeted for.
That's right.
That's where that comes in.
Yeah, okay.
Nate, you wanna point out to page?
Yeah, I
so
just am,
Can't find that figure.
on page
Last
21,
year's.
I've got food service total revised budget
Go to page
292.
go
20,
to page 20.
the very last account number.
Okay. 285.
Yep.
That's last year.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, if there was an increase over last year, to
Yeah,
decrease.
It's a decrease, okay.
9,000 you said. That's pretty good. So
So can I ask a dumb question then?
you're taking the minutes, you're gonna have to write it down.
Maybe I'll remember. Never mind, there are no questions.
Careful what you ask, yeah,
Um,
you gotta write it.
On the May, we have I don't know what we budgeted for a loss, but a $36,000 loss
For the year so far.
for the year so far. But we've got another reporting, so will we be above the 40,000?
Well, you're looking at two different years.
I know, but
But
I'm
what
looking at our bottom line. What are we going to lose? I don't care what they charge us.
As
but-
of right now, it's for last year it's 36,000.
Right, and for next year, it's projected 40,000,
About
almost
40, yes.
41,000.
Yep.
To lose.
So that's what I'm looking at, is why. I mean, this is supposed to help us each year and go down.
Well, the 36,000 is through the end of May, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of June, how much will that go up, do you think? Will it be
It'll
close
be
to
about the
40?
same.
It'll be about 40 when you put
Projecting,
June in?
projecting, it'll be about the same.
Okay.
Then
And
we
was the 36 what was projected, or are we lower than what what was projected?
We're about right on what was projected,
Oh.
almost to the dollar.
Then you gotta remember, we raised the rates to
I
5.
guess they anticipate more unpaid next year.
Well, people-
Even with those email
Don't get me started.
reminders.
And the knocks on the
Get me
door
started
and
on that
sending the
on May
sheriff out.
don't get him started, he said.
Okay,
Do I have a motion to accept in a second?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. The Cafe
Got it?
Services Incorporated contract,
who said it, Steph?
and Paul seconded it. Do we have any more questions?
I say no.
That's only for 1 year, 2017, 2018. Okay, Paul,
Aye.
Doug, aye. Peg?
Aye.
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 Very
Opposed?
peer pressured, apparently.
Okay,
Yes.
it passed.
You know how I feel about this, but that's all right. Okay.
Okay, what else have I got?
Gotta have a food program, Peg.
You know, I'll cook for that amount of money.
You cook?
Any question about food service? Are you guys planning on raising the prices this year?
We did already.
did.
Yeah.
You did already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Couple meetings.
10 cents, I think, right?
May?
10 cents, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the
It was 10 cents for lunch and I think it was 5 cents for
Breakfast.
breakfast.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry?
I thought we kept
What's up?
I thought we kept it the same. I thought there was the debate, but we kept it.
No, we raised
Breakfast.
it.
That's not how I understood
We
it.
usually do 10 cents every year.
Yeah.
No. I knew the 10 cents, but I thought we debated back and forth and decided to keep it the same.
The breakfast?
No, I think Lou wanted, Lou wanted,
Yeah.
I think it was Lou that made it.
5 cents.
So,
So a 10-cent increase for lunch and 5 cents for breakfast.
I'm trying to get these done. Where's my name here?
Data report.
You have anything more for us?
We did get the audited financial statements.
You both should have them in your packet.
Yes. What do we need to do with those?
Read them.
Did you read it yet?
Cover to
It's
cover.
amazing
That
material.
is amazing.
Do it in your free time.
I can summarize it if you want.
Go ahead.
There were no
Were they
findings.
okay?
Can we trust your summer?
You can read it after. There are no findings.
Peg.
So we had no issues at all?
There's no issues.
No findings.
Everything's good.
Good.
Isn't there
kidding.
usually a
Need to go to
conclusion
sleep.
section in these things?
There's a one
Usually
of
it's the
the
first.
You can
loose
skip
leaf.
skip to that part.
This.
They usually say something about student accounts.
There.
And we-
Oh, right? And now it's
And we were actually good on that too.
Yeah, you're giving us an account.
Because the student activities is always a high risk.
Yeah,
They
There was a
always
couple
look
of,
for that.
of minor issues, but nothing.
in the past they had been.
Yeah,
It's the
but
front pages.
we've got it straight now.
But that's the report you give us every month then. No, that's the student activity. That's the one you're
That's
talking
the one
about.
you see. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we asked for it.
Yeah. We also got the SAU. Same
No problems.
conclusion with that. There were no problems.
You deserve a pat on the back because we can't give you any more money.
Yeah.
Doing my job.
Okay, have anything else?
No.
Okay, all right. I guess, You wanna go by rank, MES, then work up the way to high school?
By rank. By rank.
Grade?
Uh-oh, if you go by
kindergarten?
rank, I know who wins.
Oh, I didn't mean by that, I didn't mean that, yeah. John, you're up.
Longevity.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I gave you a ton of information,
He's got more for you.
I like this.
and
I like this.
He's got more for
Color
you.
coded.
I'll code you.
Good old John.
Vast improvement. I like it.
Well, I got stuff for you too. I'm gonna pass that
So
on.
I got these to just show you where it is as far as, it's a little more explanation of that chart. But what I did was added the national
Oh, thank you.
average. So, like I said, there was some growth. They're going in the right direction. They're not quite where we want them yet. But if you look at the reading scores are better than the math. In math, the reading scores are within, 157.4 for kindergarten. They should be 158. That's the norm. If you want to call it grade level, I know that NWA kind of looks at it. They're a growth model. They use a growth model. So they're just they're appeasing people by giving an idea of where a fifth grader should be, where a fourth grader should be. And this is from norm data. This is normative data from 2015. They put it out every so many years. So if you look at the standard deviation, even though for the most part we're a few points behind, we are actually within the standard deviation for reading, which is good. And math is a little bit different. We're kind of falling apart, especially in the upper grades. Fifth grade is like 1 point away from the standard deviation. And I think that really goes to show the work that people did on curriculum for language arts. They have worked on that a lot, and they have that in place, and they've been using it. So that's been showing that's been effective. It's helped the language arts scores. We did that with the Smarter Balance testing too, as well. Math, we don't have a full curriculum yet. Some people started it. It wasn't finished when Mary Wilson left. So I'm not even sure if we're started. I'm not sure where we're at with it. But that's really what's important. When you look at the standardized testing, it doesn't say whether a teacher is teaching or not teaching. It depends on what they're teaching. You're seeing growth. So the teachers are definitely teaching and they're being effective. If you want your scores to look different and higher, you have to make sure that the teachers are teaching what they're supposed to be teaching for the test and what the Common Core, whether it's Common Core or whatever. A great example, I went to an assessment conference, and I'll to use this example. There was a teacher there, they were primary grades, and they took the California Achievement Test, and the first question on the test was, circle the paperclip. So everybody's like, oh my God, I didn't teach paperclips. Did you teach paperclips? And they did poorly on paperclips. So the next year, everybody, the teachers were wearing paperclip earrings, everything was a paperclip, paperclip, paperclip. First question on the California test that year was, circle the stapler. So the problem is they were teaching to the test, which was the answer that they thought, or the question, rather than what the standard was. And the standard is, name items in a classroom. So kids should be able to name items in a classroom. So that's why they didn't do, if you get too close to what the test is and not teaching exactly what the standard is, then that's what the problem, that's where your scores will be different. So that's why I think we really need a math curriculum and work toward that, and that will definitely help. So that's NWEA, and the next few pages basically show the diamond. We wanted to be near the diamonds, but not quite near the diamonds, but they're growing, and I do have other charts that I'm going to get to. I was sharing that with Doug and Peg today, which basically shows you percentages of where, this is the whole group, this is the whole grade level, and it'll show you the breakdown of kind of the percentage of kids below average and above average. We also sent home reports, individual student reports, and the individual student reports will show them where their child should be, and they have the target, if they made target or not, and it will do it over the years, how many years they took the standardized testing, I mean, the NWA testing over the years.
Now, what I just gave you was the NEWA from the spring of 2015. Now, John has them all right up to our current date, and he'll pass them out to you. And if you'll notice, turning the page, you can see it's broken down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different categories by students, and where in the graphs you can tell who's doing good or bad in a certain grade. And he'll get you the rest of them later.
They look like this, well, they're kind of like that, but they're a little different.
Jan-
This report here, this chart, is something I created. And I believe that's something that Mary Wilson created as well, to kind of
But
put it all
John-
together.
But John has that copy in his book.
Huh?
You do have a rough, yeah, right there on that page, you got the hand.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what NWA puts out, and they'll put it out, this is like kindergarten math. So it'll show you not only how they are overall, but it breaks it down by area, like geometry, concepts, and so forth. So you can see where they're at, and this is what teachers use to develop their RIC group, their RTI groups, their instruction, and so forth, and seeing where they're lacking in the curriculum as well. So it's for each grade, and I have that, and I'll make copies of that for reading and math. And like I said, we get individual reports for kids that went home, each one. So that's NWA. The next couple of pages was the Smarter Balance. These are preliminary results. We haven't gotten the full report and so forth. But it'll give you the percentage. It's a general overview, proficiency rates in reading and math for the Smarter Balance testing for spring. So it tells you how many kids were tested in the spring and the percentage where they're at for on grade level, proficient. 3, 4, and 5, if you see language arts, once again, the score, they went up. I mean, this is only this year, but they're much higher than math, which is the next bit, which is the next column over. So that's why I really pushing about the math curriculum. We really need that. When I get the full report, we can go over more in depth about Smarter Balance. And then the last part is just a couple more surveys, some more data of our Swiss. Our Swiss data was looking good. We ended up, of course, June looked kind of tough. But the green compared to the blue, this is, green was last year, blue was this year, and this is the referrals per day, per month. And then it gives you the totals down here. So we looked at a lot of, you see the great improvement in discipline. A lot of feedback from parents, positive feedback from parents about how their kids are feeling about coming to school, which I thought was very good. Especially at the kindergarten graduation, everybody was saying that, you know, that they had children up the grades, how happy the kids are to come to school. So that was really nice to hear that it's translated into the kids' feeling. Then this is the parent forum that I held. It was the end of February. These were questions that were put online. And I don't know if I put that in a previous board report. But I asked parents 4 questions. Is that on here? Basically, what do you see? What are the changes that you like? What are the changes you don't like? What would you like to see different? But there were 4 different questions.
91.
Are they here?
Yeah, right under the Swiss data on the front page. Remaining
Oh, I
attachments.
put it in there. So I could put, there we go.
See, I did read it.
So there we go. What changes and/or improvements that are new this year are you pleased with? What changes and/or improvements are you not pleased with and think need revisiting? If there is a concern, please provide examples or suggestions of what you'd like to see in place. And what are the new areas or ideas you would like the administration to look into for the upcoming school year? I have to say, I mean, there were a lot of parents. I think we got about 15 responses, which is good because these were anonymous, so parents could go on and say what they like, you know. So sometimes none of this is good news. So, but they were mostly positive. A lot, of course, it was still then we have that awards assembly quarterly, which I'm still kind of holding my ground to because it's a lot of it's a lot of commotion and a lot of stuff for, I'd rather reward the kids in other ways, so I'm kind of, and the parents were understanding, parents were at the forum, anyway. So the big thing what they talked about was the same thing we talked about here was communication, that there is a lot of communication. How can we narrow it down? And that's some of the things we're gonna look at as a staff. You know what, I think I've talked about it before, a loose and tight list. Like, what does everybody have to do? Is it gonna be homework now? Is it a web page or the dojo? What is everybody going to do? What can everybody agree to? And then everything else is loose. You can do your own web page or different things like that. So we'll determine that. So these parents know this is what they're going to, this is what they can expect. But as I said at the forum, parents were agreeing, communication is two-way. It is out there. They need to know that what the places are. And if they're not getting it, like for example, the purple page. In June I heard, well, I started to get the purple page, but then I didn't get the purple page. Something happened with my email, or I changed my email, or it wasn't opening. But they weren't coming to us and saying, hey, I'm not getting it, or can you give me a hard copy, which we've done. We have about 10 people that came and said, can I have a hard copy instead of the email? And we can send that out. So we need to let parents know this is where the information is, and if you're not receiving it there, let us know, and that's where to find it. That always makes it difficult. It won't appear at your door. It will be there. It's just, you need to know where it's for.
Do you think we can tie in like the survey to like open house, where there's pretty much open house is a huge high engagement night.
Mm-hmm.
One of probably the most parent engagement of anything that's done. So to get more than just your 15 families that probably talk to you on a regular basis anyways, do you think like maybe we can, I don't know, or
it could be available. We can make, it's probably something they wouldn't be able to do on open house, but we could do some survey. I could put this out again, but we only had 4 parents show up to the parent forum.
right?
And so what we did was we put it on our website, and it was on the website for about a month. And it was in every purple page, like go and fill this out, go and fill this out. So if we have it on the web page, we could announce it at open house, everybody's there. It's just getting the computers and all that.
Is there like a paper form they could fill out for those four questions? Just write a sentence down for each.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, then we have to enter it and all that. That makes it more difficult.
I think the majority of people have access. It's just whether they, have time to do it and really are motivated to do it. I think if you tie in getting the kids to say, if we have this much participation, you guys earn, an extra recess or an ice cream party or whatever, PJ day, if we don't want to do the food. Then they're going to be bothering. I know that's when I do stuff is when my you need to sign this field trip form. You need to sign it. And I'm like, oh yes, it has been sitting on the table for 2 weeks and I just haven't had time. Like, I agree with you, the communication thing, it's there, but there's so much going on and it's so busy that unless it's really in your face or your kid's really bothering you to do it, it's hard. So I think this is awesome, and I think it's a lot more than what's been done before. I just think the engagement has always been hard to get that buy-in back, because I think there's a lot of buy-in that's been gone for several years because they kind of gave up.
Well, I ain't done. They're not done. I got some questions.
John, I just want to say, seriously, very good, thank you. I mean, I enjoyed looking through it, just the fact that you had all the information there, and Doug slapped me because I understood your original one, and he said, well, you know it, you've done it.
It could be confusing. Yeah. I actually did this type of chart. I did it for another board I worked with. There was a request. Well, I understand how the grades are, but how about those kids? She wanted to follow the individual kids, so we did the cohort group, so they got to follow the blocks.
No,
to
it's
see
very
how
good.
those kids were doing, rather than, because it's true, I mean, you have a fifth grade, one fifth grade might be, do a little better on testing, so it looks like, oh, wow, they went really, the fifth graders went up a lot. But they weren't the fifth graders last year, so we would follow them that way.
No, thank you.
You all
Anyway,
set, John?
I appreciated it.
Okay. Jan?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm very, very honored and pleased to be here, and I appreciate the being selected as principal. I've only been there for a week so far, but it's been busy. We've been moving offices, so if you come in, it looks a little different. You come in the front door to the right, it's now a conference room in the special ed office. If you come in the left into the main office, that's where Jen and I will be with our offices. We've been busy doing staff interviews. We have some set up for next week as well, trying to get some new people on board, and the new positions you gave us that Earl talked about, which I think will make a big difference next year with some of the programming we're doing. I am looking at all the job descriptions and the expectations, especially for our activity positions, and I'll also be looking at how we evaluate those positions and assess the effectiveness of the personnel there. I've been meeting with some of the teachers and some of the students and some parents that are coming in, and I'll be sending a survey out as well. So I've been listening to, how you got your feedback. I'll be sending it as a link and an email to the staff to give me some feedback, as well as parents. So I was going to do theirs as a blast as well, but I may follow up with phone calls or something to try to make sure that I get enough response for that. I did want everyone to know we do have our summer enrichment posted on the website, as well as we did send email links to all the parents and students for that. We're taking sign-ups through Friday, so if there's still people who want to sign up for some of those activities, they can do that through Friday. And when I get the survey results, I'm hoping to have the link out by Monday, gather that information through the end of the month so that I'll have that when we go to the summit next month. So that we can kind of have that data as we're making our goals and making our plans for the following year.
Is that something that we didn't know we had? The enrichment, did we not, well, you might not know, but the grant, did we know in June that we had the grant for summer enrichment, or no? Because the police department put up this big congratulations, you earned this grant. So I didn't. It didn't sound like it was. It sounded like it was a special grant, and it's just going back to the communication piece, and to get it like on Facebook the day after 4th of July. This just would have been amazing information to have when the kids were in school and people could plan, because to be honest, we've already planned our summer because we didn't think there was anything.
Yep.
So what were you saying? What did you ask?
You said the police department?
Yeah, I'll
They
bring it
posted
up.
on
They
our
said
Milton
it
Hall.
was their, it was a grant.
Was it for the SRO?
No, it's a grant that paid for the enrichment
Right.
programs for the middle high school. And so I didn't know, that would make sense, I guess, if we didn't find out until the end of June that the grant came through. That would make sense why we weren't telling kids and, students and parents.
Police department put it on the Facebook page.
Who's in
What's it
charge of
say?
Congrats
Can
to
you
the-
read it?
Yeah, it says from the Milton Police Department, congrats to Newton Middle High School on receiving this grant. It will be a benefit to all who take advantage of it. Summer Enrichment 2017. Thanks to the New Hampshire Bureau of Drug and Alcohol Services Federal Block Grant. So that's probably how the PD knows about it. Newton Middle High School students have the opportunity to participate in various recreational activities. Students who will be in grades 6 to 12 for this coming year eligible to attend may sign up one or all trips. Schedule and permission forms are available at New Middle High School office, ongoing. And then there's every day of the week for all the way through August 24th.
I mean, it is
It's incredible.
incredible
They go
programs.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Incredible
I'm going to go with them
programs.
because our chaperone fell.
That's from
Oh.
Friday.
that's from the DHHS grant.
That was-
that's
Okay.
been-
DHHS.
So we knew a lot. Okay.
Do we know
Yeah.
that it was
So next
there?
we'll get it out sooner.
And this is another, because I can bet that there's probably a lot of kids who would really benefit from participate and would want to participate, but transportation's a major issue. If we knew, as our whole team here, more information about it, then that stuff we could more advocate regarding budget-wise, or try to come up with ideas on how we could help with transportation to get more kids involved and to see the benefits of it instead of just, because it's incredible opportunities. I can't believe, zip lining and baseball games and rafting and going on trails and going to different beaches.
So is sixth graders this year that will be
Yes.
Upcoming sixth graders.
Fifth graders going into sixth grade, which would be great for them to start learning something, because two of the middle school teachers do it. Sorry, Doug. I guess you're important. You can speak.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was questioning this batch of POs, because on there is that must be they're going to
That's what
Fisher
that is.
Cats,
Yeah.
Yes.
the Fisher Cats.
Yes, and a Sea Dogs game as well.
They're going whitewater rafting.
Mhm.
Yeah, right here. What else we got here? Game tickets. What? Got 22 tickets here for. Yeah, that's Fisher Cats again.
Yep.
So now I'll sign that. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that.
The staff's going to some baseball games.
We got
Doug.
deep sea fishing here also.
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
now,
there
that
was
would
some-
maybe cancel if we don't get more kids signed up.
Well,
Right.
I didn't know about it myself.
Doug wants to
And
go.
so this is, I think this is part of the,
Yeah.
whatever, I'll
I'm
say
glad- We
frustration.
just put it on the. They'll sign this and pass it down.
Because we
I was
had
questioning.
specifically asked, what's going into that grant? Because at first when we got
Right there.
news about the grant, we were told, oh, it's red ribbon and it pays for half of one position. So it's like, well, that's a lot of money. What else is going to it? Like,
Yeah.
and it was nothing. And that was in the fall,
She's
correct?
already on the case. She's making a list.
Yes, I know. She's
Yeah.
Yes,
no
definitely.
sense in beating her up. She knows about it.
I'm not
Good input.
beating up, I'm giving input.
And this is good input for her.
You have anything else?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question though, because you said it was the DHS bleh, grant.
HS, I think, isn't it? 2 H's.
So this year, just looking at it, it had student enrichment for $7,600 in the grant report. But I'm assuming that was for last summer's
Yeah.
program. We don't know whether we got anything this year or not.
Where we got the $100,000.
How much?
100,000.
100.
Because it was 80,000 for last year.
Yeah. Oh,
and
okay.
100,000 for this year.
Okay.
So this summer is for next school year?
What we just got
Right.
is
The current school year, FY18.
yeah.
Oh, right, because it's,
Yeah.
So we should have known that we had money for the enrichment program, right, or not?
We
I
do
mean,
now. We do now.
Well, I know we do now, but I mean,
Well, when does the grant come through? When did they issue that grant? They said, like, the
We knew
PD
about
said-
it
They said
last year.
congratulations on the grant, so when
Yeah.
did we receive the money? Like June?
July 1st.
Oh, July 1st,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so
but we
that's
did
when
know
you
about
saw
it, so we could have planned, I guess is
Correct.
the correct question.
because we knew in
Well, I
October
think
that we were
no,
getting
I
it in
think
July.
I think they were planning it. It's just like she was saying, the communication wasn't there.
Okay, that's what I'm asking is,
Yeah.
it was, okay, all right.
I also think we didn't do a board report in June, because there was some that were, like last month, we didn't have a board report because the last meeting of the month was Lou's service.
Right.
And then, I don't think we did one in May for some reason, I can't remember why.
Do you know if there's been a alert now?
Yes. We
Yes,
sent it to
I
all
did get,
students
okay,
and all
I
parents.
did, okay. Then at this point, it is what it is, it's just
We're
always,
still taking sign-ups to
Hopefully
Friday.
take advantage of it.
right.
Yeah.
Hopefully take advantage.
Okay.
I know the first hike there, I think it was 1 student and 2 teachers.
Right, I know,
And they
well,
bought him a Blizzard at Dairy Queen, see?
He had great-
and I think that just like, my whole thing is like the social piece for students, and based on what I'm seeing from my kids and other kids, kids don't want to go if they don't know their friends are going.
Mhm.
It's middle school, it's high school. And so if they don't know if their friends are going, they're not gonna go. And so if we know about it early enough, like that's what I had to do. I had to email 5 parents and say, are your kids going to any of these so I can get my kid to go? And so it's just more time, just in general, not just with this one, but in general. I feel like that's what helps motivate the kids to participate.
We all set? moving on to school board business. I put the ball field down because I went down there one day and I parked in the parking lot, and what I saw was people walking their 2 dogs on a leash. And they got to the softball field, opened up the gate,
Not mine.
and let the dogs off their leashes and let them go in the ball field and lock the gate. Okay, if I was somebody that had donated part of that $80,000, I wouldn't have been happy.
Are there signs up?
Signs are there, and I think we should put signs up, no animals allowed, period, on the ball field.
So there's no signs now that say no dogs. There's signs that say pick up your
That's
waste.
what we originally voted for the perimeter, so they just assume they can use the ball field
Yeah,
as a...
that's our fault for not being specific enough, I guess, so. we need
Yeah,
to
no
change
dogs
it.
in.
We need to change it. No animals in the field.
Okay. Have Bob work up an estimate?
Yep.
Get back to signs? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Now, what we need to do, this is for you, Paul. I know you've been away. We need to have a facilities meeting in the first meeting in August, because we got a lot. Bob's asking for it, so you might want to touch bases with Bob.
Okay, what do we have going on?
We got a lot going on. The issue we got at the SAU, we got to come up with a solution where we're going to park everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't know if we can park them on the street or where we can park them.
Why wouldn't they park in the parking lot?
Well, that's going to be pretty crowded when we get going there, because the buses are going to be in there too.
Well, you might have to reline it, reline the parking lot.
That's definitely something we should do.
That's what I'm
what I
saying.
I can see them.
Yeah.
We need to reline
That's
the
what
parking lot and have designated bus parking in one area, and then
I have no
everybody
problem
else.
with
It's
that.
big
Yeah,
enough.
that's
Can I get
funny.
a-
I spoke to Tim and Bob about that this week.
Now, the other
Because I
thing,
talked to the bus drivers, and they thought it would be a good idea. Plus, it looks fantastic when you line something.
Yeah, I noticed you can hardly see what's there. And
You
people are
can't
just
see.
parking wherever, whatever it seems appropriate, so
Yeah.
we need to just reorganize the parking lot.
Reserve parking with my
Yes.
name.
Yes.
I get it.
That is the least he deserves.
Forget it, he says.
Special one for Doug. He's there all the time.
The other question I was going to ask Bob to ask Pat if there any way we could have parking on the street too out front for people that visit, and have a handicap up the driveway also.
And one for AARP. I need one for that.
Just park on the walkway.
Is
Well,
the parking lot always full behind, like when you go into the school entrance
Yes.
by the cafeteria, those spots with the sidewalk?
I talked
That's
about.
fine.
You want to talk? I'd like you to talk to Bob, and he'll talk to you about it. That's. I'll leave that up to you.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll schedule one for the first meeting of August.
You just touch
Or
base.
August 9th.
Whatever you. I don't know what I have it in my calendar. in front
August
of me.
9th. So
Yeah, the dates are in here. It's August 9th.
Okay. All right. I'll write that
Let's
down.
do that. We'll do facilities.
So you're going to hold it here, and I'll open the door for you.
Sure.
What time do you want me to open the door for you?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We have a lot.
You know what?
Doug, we have a lot to do apparently. So
We have a lot of-
I have a suggestion. It might be a good idea to store it over at the high school, the middle high school, so you can see all the restructuring and all the offices and everything that was done. And also, too, we wanted to make sure the people on TV, we're going to put it on the website so they know where to find the people in the offices and everything. So we, as a suggestion, we might start our,
I mean, we could have the meeting over there.
But you want the whole board, or you just want the facilities?
We can do our facilities meeting in the community room.
Okay. All right.
yeah,
All right. I have no problem with
Then
that.
we just
Yeah.
come down here after.
that
That way we
you
can
could-
walk around the SAU, we could do everything, tour everything at once, and get all the issues squared away.
Yeah, and also you could view,
Works for me.
the things that
Well,
Doug
you're-
is
you're the chair of that
referring
one.
to,
You
the
can-
signs.
Do what you want.
We've had to make sure signs are up. That way they know what door to walk into.
Yep.
We've done a lot of, like we said, a lot of things in the last 2 weeks.
Well, what we need to do now is all the pretties, like my wife says, Nancy. We need the pretties done.
We
Yes,
can also,
I
tour- we
agree.
can go to the ball field, look at the signs at the ball field, we can do all that stuff,
all right.
Yeah.
tour everything.
Okay.
We can do it now.
You guys have to start at 4.
Now,
We're gonna move quick.
I'm gonna move quick. Now, when is Stephanie, I think you're in charge of the policy committee?
Yeah, we have, I'll go over them with her. We have a great deal of them that Kathy Vig, you has begun to dole out. like I think she did 10 of them, because everything was coming at us at once. So we can review that, I'll go over it with Kathy, I'll call you, and then we can decide on a date. How does that sound?
Are we gonna do it before the next meeting in August?
I think we need to see how many of them we have to approve for next time that we've already discussed.
I think we cleared them up. She cleared them?
We did too.
We cleared a bunch
Okay,
up.
so we'll,
We're starting over again.
yeah, okay.
We are meeting in July as well, right? 26th?
Looks that
Yeah.
way.
Okay. You saying the next meeting in August, I don't know if
I thought we were, I won't be at that meeting,
The 26th, you won't be here?
correct?
I think what we'll do is, like we discussed, we'll see with the administration how much appointments we need to do and all that type of thing. And if there's a need, we see a need to approve certain people for jobs, for teaching jobs, we might have to do that because we don't want to lose them if they're, you know, if they have other offers or whatever. But I will give the input to you folks, and then you can make a decision, right?
Are you talking about policy?
Or no,
meetings,
about
or-
the,
He's off on
Board.
another tangent.
about the board meeting
Meeting?
on the next
Oh,
one.
the
when you-
26th,
26th?
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, at first, because I was thinking we would need one, but now I'm wondering, based upon the positions that we are attempting to fill, whether we want to, even if it's a quick one, just get a quorum and get it done.
Okay.
Okay, all set. Under old business, I wanted to tell you that I have signed Tim Eldridge's contract.
Yes.
He works for us,
Good.
all right?
Yes. Is there another applaud?
Now, the other thing is, Earl, what's the status? We were looking for Back Bay does not work for us during the summer.
That was
Okay.
on my list.
So
Yeah.
Back Bay has got to come in and put the computers in MES for Donna Hull, and that's gonna take a good week. And,
2 weeks.
2 weeks now, all right.
And we might need another little extra time over in the main school, the middle high school. There's a need to hook up some computers there. Am I right, Jan? I think Melissa, Jean, you know, they have that self-contained office, and it's imperative that, for all the reasons we have known with special ed, and we have a lot of significant work and a lot of work in terms of the cost effectiveness of the budget, because you know what we were looking at last year in terms of that area of the budget being overspent. So therefore, it's important that they are up and running and they have all the material for communications and computers.
Well, John said he needed them more than just putting the lab together, right? At the
We have
last
a
meeting.
printer. We
Yeah.
have a new printer that needs to be set up, but we need to set up wiring before that. So there's a couple of things here and there. There's always something.
See,
What-
one of the things we've discussed before, and a lot of you have heard this, we've had different meetings with them, is that the computers in the boxes and that whole routine
It's unacceptable.
is that we, you know, in the end, we heard that the previous administration was actually told at different times certain work had to be done in order, just what the board is doing right now is recognizing the fact that certain work has to be done, and you can't make a decision not to do it if you don't know that you need to do it. So therefore, in working with the administrators, I'll work with Back Bay and come back to you, at least in an email, as an information communication, what we're looking at. But at the very least, we're looking at the 2 weeks, set up the MES lab, right, John? And then we're looking at some other time regarding work to do in each of the 2 schools.
Peg?
Yeah, I thought we talked about this at the last meeting. We're
Yeah.
gonna get an estimate. How much is it gonna cost us?
That's what I'm bringing it up to you, so So we know
Yeah,
the
how much is
status.
it gonna
They
cost?
haven't given us an estimate.
Okay.
Just giving you an update on it. We know what needs to
What
be
had to
done
be
Okay.
done was,
as soon as
she
possible.
gave them the packet of specifically what had to be done. She
Okay.
had some further input, Donna,
Okay.
and and I served as the go-between to ensure that the communication,
Okay.
using your term,
So you're gonna
the
follow up
communication
and-
was there.
You're
Yeah.
gonna follow
sick
up.
of that
Okay.
word.
All right.
Yeah.
That was-
Good.
But
Thank you.
we already approved for the 2 weeks
Yeah.
for Donna's
Yeah.
computer
Yeah.
lab. What we wanted was the estimate of everything else to be effective for both schools to get them set up for the school year.
Yep.
I was, okay.
And is that something that has to be approved by the school board? Is it something that?
No, I think it's a point of information
Yeah.
so that you know, so that all of a sudden you don't see on a warrant X amount of money. You're
Yeah.
aware that.
Now, I'd like
there's-
to know how much it's gonna cost, so.
I just want to keep my thumb on the project, so I'll make
Yeah.
sure it gets done before school starts. That's all I'm doing.
I'm
we
right
get a
behind you.
sta-
Yeah,
status,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Can I just give you one more?
Oh, you certainly can, go ahead.
Okay, so I just want, for anyone who still wants to sign up, so it's the Summer Enrichment Program. The dates run from tomorrow through, our very last one is August 23rd. We cover all the cost, so the kids do not have to pay any cost for going. They do have to come to school, they may have to buy a lunch, that kind of thing. If they sign up, we let them know what kind of clothes they need to bring with them. The trips depart at different times, like some of them will leave at 8:30, the rafting trip is leaving at 6:45. Most of them are back by 3 o'clock every day. They can come into school, into the school in the main office to sign up. The sign-up sheets are right there. Most of them are limited, 10 to 20 students, so once it's full with that 10 or with that 20, then they're full. I think that was everything. Just some of the examples of what we'll be doing. So there is chess also every day at the school, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:30 to 1:30. So learning the basics and getting better at chess. And then starting next week, we have Great Bay Wildlife going to the Letty Center. There's zip line, going paddleboarding, going to Weirs Beach, the Center for Wildlife in York, going to Lake Wentworth, going to a beach in Kennebunkport, going to a Sea Dogs game, going to the Wolfboro Trail. Let's see, a York Cliff Walk, again along the beach in York, Echo Lake State Park, Ferry Beach in Scarborough, Culinary Playground and Mexican Fiesta, the White Lake State Park, going on the Eastern Rail Trail, that's with bicycles, and Pawtuckaway State Park. So if kids are interested in any of those.
So anything else, Jen, just speak up.
Yeah, Jan, if I can just ask,
Yep.
rather than me writing down all of this stuff.
I can send you the link of all that stuff.
Well, I was gonna say, just put the link in here so that people can go to it.
Yep, it's on the website right now.
Okay.
So if
Oh, all right.
it's-
Okay, so I can just,
And it's been spread to
Yeah,
a
it's
bunch
been
of
emailed.
Yeah.
Facebook and
all right,
email.
all right, on the website. Thank you.
I didn't know it.
Another old business that I was going to bring up, just because we always do, is the website. We say we're going to do something with it, and then we grumble 6 months down the road because nothing was done to it. So is that on the priority list
Yeah,
It's
I
in the
got
works.
the,
It is in the works.
It's what?
in the works.
Any more details? Or you're going to surprise us?
Well, to be honest, I've been busy doing
You've
other
been
things.
busy. No, I know. Right. I know, and that's this is not criticism. It's just like, what's the priority list? Because those were things that we knew we really wanted to focus on.
We had to get into the building first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I would like to see it happen sooner than later
Right.
because it's a hassle.
So what is your ideas? Like, so we need to, well, you had suggested to touch base with the selectmen because
Right.
they are currently searching for someone.
And they have somebody, I believe they have somebody for the actual web page.
Yeah.
But then they had a work session with 3 people coming in and looking at everything that they need because their whole system is a disaster. So their webpage is not happening until they get everything together. But they do have the one person. Have you spoken to anybody?
No.
Because I can get you the name at least of the guy who's doing theirs. And he goes to all the selectmen's meetings.
Okay.
So, and he appears extremely knowledgeable.
Maybe he can come down and talk to the administrative team,
Okay.
see if he's available. And find them and we'll get him down and talk to Nate and myself and,
Okay.
and the principals. And we've been talking, they've been doing some change, some things on the websites. Right, each of you have been working with that.
Larry? Oh, Larry.
He's not here.
Okay. When he arrives, does he remember? Is it Mike or
We're
Dave?
passing notes in school.
I know. I saw that. The guy who always comes to the Board of Selectmen meetings with the big hat on.
David.
David. Thank you. I couldn't remember whether it was David or Mike, but I will get his name.
Since it's not a name like Larry Brown, I ruin it, but it's something like Karish.
Yeah, it's a different last name, but I just wanted to make sure I knew the first name, so that's
Sounds familiar.
Okay.
okay. I will.
All set?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have one more thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to deal with it tonight. These are the names of the 4 candidates that are in for the vacancy of the school board.
Yes, we said we were going to deal with it tonight.
Well,
Right or no?
the problem is you kind of can blame me. I wasn't sure about Paul being back, so that's the 4 people.
Okay. I really, quite honestly, would like to have them here. So, as you did with me and Larry last summer, just to talk to them a little bit.
Whatever you people want. It's not up to me.
Because this is the first
I
time
would
that
like
I've
to-
seen.
I would like to get it done. I think we should take a few minutes and read this. I think the majority of them are people we know very well. And I just think we need I think we need to fill the seat. There's stuff that,
No, I'm not saying we don't need to fill the seat, but it's just, I'm just looking at these for the first time. And
What is it? My question is, does the board want to bring these individual people in to ask questions of them? I did talk to Earl about it. Earl said sometimes where he's been, they didn't interview anybody, they just chose out of the people they had, so I don't
think we need to do that.
do what,
Bring them on and interview them.
you know?
I don't know, it just doesn't seem.
were we interviewed to get up? Well, other
Yeah, you were.
I was.
I was not. We were, and it was, I know that
You
it was.
came in part way.
They do the candidates night.
No, but that's what I'm,
You were asked
Okay.
tough questions.
no, I wasn't.
Well, you weren't?
No, I
I guess I
wasn't.
must have slipped up when you were running.
But we'll go over it again later.
We're gonna have
Or,
I don't know, I still would like to have them come in. I mean, I know we have 2 people here, but
well, that's my,
Should we go over it non-public? I don't know if we should.
what?
Non-public, should we
I-
make it non-public?
I think when you,
Not for a board member.
I think the selectmen were done in the public, and Wakefield's did theirs in public.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went to the attorney, matter of fact, on it, didn't they?
And I have no problem, I think there's been 2 public meetings since applications have been requested. I guess what I'm trying to say is they probably should be present if they want to be a school board member, whether they're a school board member or not. That's how I kind of feel.
The position is only till the next 7 months, March. Ends in March, and then the person has to run for election. Correct, Doug?
Correct? They'll finish, but it'll probably end up being a 2-year term, 'cause they'll finish out Lowe's.
Yeah, so they'll offset.
Yeah, because the other 2 are gonna have to be 3-year terms.
But they still have to run.
Yes, correct, you're right, Earl.
Are we supposed to be making a decision on this now?
What's up to the board? Does the board want to make a decision?
As I said, just reading these, I know a couple of the people, but reading, I don't know. I can't say, honestly, I am ready to make a decision right now. Pardon?
Okay, so what's the plan? Let's be very specific on the plan, because we've put it off for a while. So are we so we're not taking any more applications, correct?
It's up to the board.
Or
I mean, that's,
Correct.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
fine. Yep.
our decision. We have 4.
Yep.
Make a decision next meeting.
Yep.
Okay, and then,
That gives people plenty of time
No, I'm not gonna-
in the summer. What?
Yep. Oh, you guys can make the decision. That works well for me.
You can send in
Is
an
what it is.
absentee
That
vote.
gives them the summer to get caught up.
Yep.
okay, is that what the board,
Because that gives them 2 meetings, right? 2 meetings before the school year starts to get
At
caught
least
up.
are
on
you all
things.
gonna be here? You should have all 4 of you here.
well, let's ask. We've got 2.
No, I meant all 4.
Yeah.
Board members.
Board member Stephanie
Well,
won't be here
Stephanie's not
next
gonna be here.
time.
I'm gonna be here.
I mean, if you
I
want to
would
do it
be-
on the 12th, but only gives them 1 meeting before.
Yep.
During
No,
the school year.
that's fine. I just thought we were doing it.
What's that?
No.
Well, I didn't hear what you said. You thought
She
what?
said-
I said I thought we were doing it tonight because that was the decision the last meeting.
I read it.
That we were going to be doing it tonight when all 4 of us are here. Because I did let you guys know
I could make the
that
decision.
I wasn't.
If we have to vote tonight, I'll make a vote. But
Yeah, I would just as soon seriously take some time to read through them. I mean,
And that, right.
so let's vote. Let's vote.
All
on
I'm
it
asking
on
to
the
do
26th.
is be very specific about what you want. Because it's been like this, is someone going to contact the people? Is someone going to ask them to come to be present for some questions?
That'll be me.
Okay.
So
And-
applications are closed. Then the 26th of July is our next meeting.
But she's not here.
And all,
She
That's
said
fine.
she was okay with it.
I'm fine with them deciding.
we can
We just have it
tell
on
you
the-
who we decided on.
What?
we have
That's
it-
fine.
We're not even sure we're gonna meet, depending upon if we have something to meet about in terms of.
Well, if that's what we have,
candidates.
yeah, but if that's what we have to meet about, then that's what we have to meet about. And if it's a short meeting, it's a short meeting.
Right.
Okay.
I just don't want the person to be put in the position of having 1 meeting before the school year starts.
Yep, no, I agree.
That's not fair to the new person coming in. Okay, here's our budget sheet, blah, 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 the year's in full swing, and here's, 150 pages of school board stuff that they don't even know what they're looking at yet. It'd be nice to get acclimated when it's our summertime and it's a little slower.
So is the board making that a motion and a second, or what do you want? Or just gonna be a general consensus?
I mean, if
General
Steph-
consensus.
If Steph's okay with it, then we
Yeah.
should vote on it on July 26th.
Okay, and then I'll put it on the agenda for.
That gives people 2 weeks to look these over, and if they have questions, they can ask or whatever, so.
Okay, all right. Do we have any other board committee member reports?
Yeah, something that, since I've been going to the Board of Selectmen meetings, and there was something on our Milton homepage, Facebook, but the Wakefield Food Pantry, we don't have one in Milton anymore, and people have to go to Farmington, and they came and did an absolutely fantastic presentation to the Board of Selectmen. And one of my questions was the End 68 Hours of Hunger program, Stephanie,
Yeah.
of which you're part of.
Yeah.
They said absolutely. You know, if kids can get there, then they will definitely give them food and stuff. So I didn't know if you guys, you and Laura, wanted to somehow contact them. I mean, I can give you all the guys' information. But it was just, that is such a great program for the kids, and now it's summer vacation. And
Yeah, N68 gives a very large box at the end to supplement the whole summer.
right,
But
but they can still go up there. So anyway, I
that
just
could
wanted
be
to bring
stuff
that up.
to
Yeah,
put on
yeah,
Facebook. I think I did see it on Facebook.
right. But it didn't mention anything about the ending
So when did
68. So
Okay.
we close the trailer down? Because I didn't know we had.
a while ago.
It was up at it was on the ridge, at the Milton Learning Center. Or what is that place at the Milton Children's Center? When I know we did scouting for food, we brought it all up there, and they had a big food pantry up there,
Where?
up on the hill in the industrial park.
Oh, way up, way up.
Right, in the
Okay.
industrial park, that's where every year that's where they bring the canned goods for scouting for food.
I wonder where they distribute it.
So I don't know if it's. I mean, there's a giant room full of canned goods and storage of food.
I don't know.
They went out of this trailer that was here and went up there. I don't know if that's still true, but I mean, every year when we do scouting for food, that's where we bring it.
And you did it this year too?
As far as I know, I was gone.
I think
when
there
they
was
did it,
an
but I think they
it
did it.
might have been a recent change.
Yeah, I just
Might have been
probably
recent.
money.
Oh, okay, all
I
right.
mean, we do that in November, so it's been 6.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know I hung my bag out,
It's
so
been-
they collected money.
I think it was Wakefield,
What did I say?
Correct.
Farmington. You said
Yeah,
Farmington.
it's
They could
Wakefield.
go to
Oh,
Farmington.
no, it was Wakefield that came,
That came
but what's
here.
happening now is the Milton people have been going to
Have been
Farmington.
going, but they
Right.
can go to Wakefield.
And they
They
can
can
continue
go to
going,
Wakefield.
but it was just Wakefield has now opened and they are inviting
Okay.
people to come. And they actually will deliver food to people. So if people can't get out,
That would be. I just have all these ideas.
I know.
I feel like that would be something really interesting to look into regarding the new community service requirement. Like, see how kids could get involved in that, or what help would assist them run their program and help the kids get involved and all that stuff. So I guess send out the information to everybody.
Any other committee board reports? Okay, do I have any public comments? Any?
Yeah.
Of course. Please state your name, sir.
And your address.
Larry Brown. There's the Wakefield Food Pantry was an excellent presentation with prodding from the audience. If you go back and look at it, he gives very clear directions to how to get there and provides his own telephone number, as well as the standards for people who participate and the exact days that they are open. The Milton Food Pantry closed basically when our contract with CAP expired. The administrative costs, which approached $118,000, were considered a drain on the resources of Milton. Things that the board wants to be thinking about, as for example, changes to block grant eligibility for Medicaid, which will put intense pressures and competition on IEP funding. through Medicaid as block grant monies decline. The possibility of developing a magnet school, John has had experiences with Rochester, and with the new structure and changes of our transition year being in control of the entire resources of the district. That's something to explore. I personally think more could be done for a summer nutrition program. I believe one operates out of the Paul School. And it's something that could, in some future time, be integrated with the summer trip program that the school district offers. And the district might consider bus transportation costs on a pod pickup basis for children to attend that program. And the other thing would be the continued transformation of voc ed to craft technologists, and that's something that I'm sure there are workshops out there to attend, because it's just more and more.
Is that for the adults or for the children?
For the children. But what was the voc ed to what?
In the classes.
Voc ed is becoming
Technologist.
craft technology.
Craft technology, okay.
Well, I call it craft technology because
What do you call it, Jan?
She calls career.
Technology.
yeah.
Okay.
But, the reason I say craft technology is there is no way you can teach a person that a proper weld, you have to fill it at a 45-degree angle, and then the bead of weld goes down at a 70-degree angle, and it looks like a series of pennies on a 45-degree angle, and your ear will recognize the crackle. I read perfectly. I would kill myself welding. But and when that gets transformed into the critical requirements for delicate welding, you still have tremendous opportunities in craft. You have skilled welders who have certification earning $60,000 and more because they don't make mistakes. And Paul can speak to that in terms of the credentialing that you need to be able to work at the shipyard.
I have a question for you. Changes to the block money.
Nobody has talked about what may be happening to the federal requirements for the IEP and the Medicaid funding that attaches to special ed.
Okay, all right.
And what will be the attrition of Medicaid when it goes to a block program, and there are $10 to spend. And this year, special ed takes 5, people get 5. Next year, IEPs require 6, and they have priority. I haven't seen anything talked about in the legislation for that. And that's something that school board associations should be.
All right, that's kind of relative to what's happening federally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very,
Thank
very
you.
much.
I just wanted to verify what you were saying.
John, you made a comment, and I caught it. So is that TV you're talking about that sits in your office? That's the one you're going to put in the hallway? That's going to view the 3D printer? Is that the one?
What?
And you got a TV in your office on the left?
TV in my office is gonna go in the lobby.
Yeah, and then you're
It's
going to...
welcoming.
Oh, just going to be a welcome. I thought it was
Yeah.
going
No,
to
the
be...
printer is, the copier, actually, I should have said. It's in
Oh.
my office, it's the big one. We had an old one. This one will fax and do color printing and.
Are you talking about a fax, a
Yeah,
copy of
it's everything. It just needs all to be set up, connected to the internet. The computer that I'm going to use for the TV, I already have that, and I don't think it'll take much setting up. If there's something wrong with it, Brandon will take a look at it.
Jen, would you elaborate on he's calling it something different, you're calling it
Well,
something.
Voc Ed Tech Ed it's not what they call it anymore, it's CTE, Career and Technology
Mhm.
Education.
CTE?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can upset them if you call them Tech Ed or Voc Ed now.
Okay.
It's truly preparing students for a career, and it's gotten away from what you consider shop. I mean, they still have automotive repair, they'll even have, you know, the body shop kind of auto, I forget what they call that one. You still have building construction, but there's health occupations, there's biotechnology programs,
Food.
cosmetology programs.
Computer.
Foods,
programming and-
getting kids,
culinary arts
yeah,
programs.
culinary arts, thank
So
you.
it's, you know, students can leave at health occupations with an LNA or an EMT or an MA certification. So it's much more preparing them to enter the workforce or to, you know, they can go get an associate's degree. There's so many running start and,
If they're not college bound.
right, that they can leave school and start working.
What Larry doesn't realize that anybody can learn to weld. He may not think he can, but I read an article, anybody can.
It's that growth mindset.
So there you go.
At any age,
Jan?
at any age, Larry.
Any age.
Jan, have you, I'm assuming maybe Salem had a CTE program?
There was a CT center in the high school.
Okay, all right, because I know Rochester, where I taught, there, it's the Richard Credo Center, and they have everything you mentioned plus. So, yeah, it is more than just making little,
You
Even the
guys
middle
don't-
school changed over. Do you remember that?
pardon?
The middle school changed over. You were still there when, in the shop.
It's
for
gone.
Terry, and they changed that all to computer-based CAD programming and all that.
Yep.
Even in the middle school, they
Pre-engineering
do that.
type stuff.
Yeah, there's the CAD and computer, but actual shop
Yeah.
is gone.
You guys know that our students at New are able to participate
Right,
in
they go to
Rochester,
Rochester,
and or
right.
Dover.
Yep,
Okay,
Yep.
so this is what we've been.
right.
They
So
need
it's
to-
available
Yeah.
to them, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Larry wants to give us a stool.
You carry that, take it with you where you go, Larry?
You gotta stand on that when you talk.
This is show and tell. This is what you could do in 6th grade shop in the New York City public school system, circa 1920. You have perfectly done octagon. You have gluing. You have to be able to measure and calculate dimensions, cut chamfers, center the screws, cut mortise and tenon.
Did you make
And
that?
that
In the 20s?
and
Good job, Larry.
That is the basis of mathematical skills and an understanding of craftsmanship. When my crazy Uncle Stanley from Brooklyn was 14 years old, he was earning $25 a week as a Model T mechanic. That's, but that's what I'm talking about the integration of new technology and craft skill as opposed to career.
Anything?
Thank you, Larry.
Any public
Make a motion.
comments?
Any other
That was
comments?
public.
Okay. Okay, moving on, I need a motion from someone to
I
go
make a
into.
motion to go into
Step in.
non-public.
I'll second.
Paul, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'll get it for you. I wrote it down anyway. Under RSA 91-A, -3, 2, A, B, and C. Paul?
Steer right.
Yeah, Doug, aye?
Bird eye?
Very
Stephanie?
aye.
Okay.